Boy, do you drive the ball. You're 100 yards past me down there. How do you do that?
Grip it and rip it, Jim.
That's all?
Actually, you have to have a little practice and the right swing technique. I'll tell you what, half an hour, have you hit the ball 30 or 40 yards farther.
You're kidding me. A half an hour?
That's right.
That'd be a 30-minute miracle if you pull that.
Let's do it.
Okay, all right. I gotta learn how to do that. Man, that's great.
From the beautiful Indian Wells Golf Resort in Palm Springs, California, Long Ball Enterprises presents Jack Hamm, the world's longest driver. Join Jack as he teaches the 30-minute miracle and learn how to hit the long ball.
I'll tell you, Jim, golf is really a mystery sport. I mean, look at all the swings out here on the range.
Oh, yeah, they're all different.
I'll tell you, you don't have to be a gorilla to hit it long.
What's he doing here?
Oh, so it's not ironclad.
Man, Hammer, you hit that ball further than I have ever seen anybody hit a golf ball. You got to teach me how to do this. Let's grab my driver and we're going to go.
Hold on, Jim. If you want to hit it long, you got to be loose. You got to be loose. We got to do some flexibility and warm up before we go to the course.
Oh, okay. Show me what you mean.
Okay, let's go. First thing we want to do is stretch the lower back. We want to put the driver out in front of us. We want to hold this position for about 30 seconds. The second thing we want to do to warm up is the club behind our back. Lock the elbows in with the club, and then what we want to do is rotate with our hips. Get a good rotation with the hips to get loose. The third warm-up exercise is the club behind the head. Let's grip the club with both hands, and let's make a couple turns with our shoulders. Both ways, loosening up those shoulders. The fourth warm-up exercise is what we'll call a swivel turn, where you grab the club with both hands, put it out in front of you, and make some turns. Make some nice, smooth turns, working the legs, working the foot action. Get the proper leg action going towards the ball. Okay, the next thing we want to do is loosen up with two clubs. Put the two clubs together, take a nice, smooth, connected swing. Back, forward, back, forward. Just think about your rhythm and timing. Jim, we're loose. Let's go crush some balls.
All right. I understand what you mean by this. You got to kind of go
Okay,
with it.
let's do it. What we're going to do today, Jim, is we're going to teach aggressive golf.
Okay.
I'm going to teach you how to use the long ball as a competitive edge. What I want you to do, I want you to think positive. I want you to think long and big off that tee.
Now, this has a practical application, right?
Absolutely. It came from math class. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Well, on a golf course, the shortest distance between the tee and the green is a long drive. Another way to look at this, Jim, is another equation from math class, which is E equals MC squared, where E is the distance, M is the mass of the club, and C is your club head speed.
Okay, you're telling me to swing harder and then I'll hit it longer, but every time I swing harder, the ball goes all over the place.
Well, that could be the story, Jim, but what obviously we need to generate more club head speed to hit the ball long. But what you need is something that I've developed over the years called optimum repeatability.
So how do I do that?
Well, it's based on a theory that I've developed called the freeze frame technique. One is your conscious mind and the other is your subconscious. Your conscious mind can only control non-moving thoughts, where your subconscious controls your muscle memory. What we're going to do is we're going to take a mental image of the critical stages of a golf swing. Swing tip 1 is addressing the ball. What we're going to do is simulate impact. This is the power position. There are 6 steps to the power position. 1, the grip. 2, the power tilt position. 3, the feet at 45-degree angles. 4, the head position. 5, bend arm to target. And 6, cock the shoulders. The first point in the power position is the grip. What we need to do is establish the proper handshake on this club shaft. If you don't have the proper handshake, your chances are nil and none of making good contact with the ball. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the left hand. We want the left hand to grip the club in the palm of the left hand with it butted up against the butt of the left hand. We want the right hand to grip it in the fingers. Then what we want to do is establish a neutral grip on the club shaft. And when I say a neutral grip, what we want to do, both palms are parallel to each other with the right palm facing the target. Then what we want to do is we want to marry our hands together. We want to interlock our fingers. We're going to interlock the forefinger of our left hand and the pinky of our right hand. The reason I choose this grip is because this enables our hands to work more in unison together. Okay, now we're going to check to see if we're in a neutral position with our hands. We want to check the V's of both hands and should be running between the shoulder and the chin. There's one final step to the grip, and that's grip pressure. What we want to do is use an equal grip pressure with both hands. We don't want either hand to dominate in the golf swing. We want a firm left, a firm right hand in our grip. I know this is different than what you've been taught, but this is something that's going to help hit the ball accurately and long. The second point to the address position is the power tilt position. There's 4 aspects of the power tilt position. 1, we want to position the ball so that it's off our left heel as such. 2, we want to position our feet so that they're slightly wider than our shoulders to give us a bigger turn at the top. 3, we want to position the weight on our heels for balance and also to give us this counterweight effect in our swing. And 4, the most critical element of this step is the power tilt position. Most golfers will address the ball as if they're sitting on a high stool where they're cocking their legs. Well, what we're doing is we're going to establish this power tilt position where our upper body is bent from the back of our thighs as such. This becomes our center of gravity in our golf swing. This becomes our turning radius or torquing element in our golf swing. The third point of the address position is our feet turned at 45-degree angles. There's 4 aspects of why we're going to turn our feet at 45 degrees. 1 is balance. We've got great balance when our feet are at 45 degrees. 2, we get a bigger shoulder turn on our backswing. If our right foot is square, you lose 6 to 8 inches in terms of the turn that you can get when your foot is at 45 degrees. 3, and this is where 90% of the golfers fail in the golf swing, is the drifting and swaying during the backswing. With our right foot at 45 degrees, it's nearly impossible for you to sway during your backswing. And 4, with our feet at 45 degrees, it gets our legs moving laterally into the ball. Point 4 of the address position is the head position. What we want in the head position, we want the left ear intersecting the club face. We want the head straight on the ball. We don't want the head cocked or tilted. We want the head straight on the ball. We want the left eye focused on the back of the ball. Point 5 in the address position is something that in golf is an absolute no-no, but I highly recommend. 99.9% of the golfers play golf with a straight left arm. What we're going to do is we're going to slightly flex our left arm so that our elbow is pointing towards the target. What this does, it gives our left arm a relaxed position. It's a more natural position in the golf swing, and it also will induce accuracy in the golf swing. And I'll show you. What this does, it gives our left arm a relaxed position. It's a more natural position. Point 6 of the address position is cocking our right shoulder. What we've done in step 5 was bend our left elbow towards the target. By doing this, it enables us to cock our right shoulder at address. What this does, it allows the right elbow to lay naturally on our right side. It promotes a natural swing plane for which our golf swing will evolve from. And thirdly, it simulates impact. Impact looks like this, with our weight transferred to our left foot, our upper body behind the ball. Let's take our first mental image or freeze frame. We are attempting to simulate impact at address. This is the power position. Swing tip number 2, the takeaway. There's 3 points to the takeaway. Number 1, a togetherness of motion. Number 2, lock head position. And 3, coil the hammer.
I really see what you mean with a different body position. Can we really hammer some now with that?
Well, what we have to do now, Jim, is we've got to get the proper takeaway. And what we need to do is we want to establish a togetherness of motion. We want to establish the tempo, timing, and rhythm in a swing. When I want to hit it really big, I think slow from the start. Overzealous at the start will kill a golf swing every time.
Well, how do you relax yourself when you're standing over that? I mean, we all waggle the club head.
Okay.
What else do you do?
Well, what we're doing is waggling the club, Jim. Waggle the feet. Make sure the weight is on your heels, that we have the counterweight effect. Think rhythm and a relaxed takeaway. Point 2 of the takeaway. What we want to do is lock our head motionless over the ball. We have to stabilize our head during the takeaway. So when I take the club back, what we want to do is lock our head in position over the ball. This is one of the critical freeze frame thoughts. Your head is locked over the ball. This is the key to optimum repeatability. Point 3 to the takeaway is instigate early. What I mean by this is as you take the club back, your hands only move a fraction of an inch, yet your club head should be at knee height. What this does is it starts an early torque buildup of the swing. This is what we call coiling the hammer. Also, at the takeaway, you'll see by the time your club head has reached knee height, your club face, your left hand, and your left arm are all parallel to the target. To recap, in our second freeze frame, we are keeping our head over the ball and coiling the hammer. Swing tip number 3, the backswing, torquing the hammer. There are 3 points to torquing the hammer. 1, stabilizing the backswing. 2, proper hip movement. And 3, full rotation. Jim, what we learned today in the address and the takeaway position is how to stabilize our backswing.
Okay.
Your right foot is at a 45-degree angle. Your head is locked in place.
Okay, so that'll stabilize me.
That's right. With this positioning, you'll be able to stay dead over the ball during your backswing.
Okay.
Let me demonstrate this. As you see, my head is locked in place. My foot is at a 45-degree angle. As I take my backswing, I'm motionless over the ball with my upper body. Okay, Jim, I want you to take a shot at this. Hold it right there. Hold it right there. I want you to look at this. Look at your weight is on the outside of your right foot. Your hips have slid. You haven't rotated your hips. Your feet are too narrow. You need to turn these feet out. Let's make some adjustments here. Let's turn your feet out. Let's turn your feet out at 45 degrees.
Boy, that is different.
Okay? Let's widen this out a little bit wider than the shoulders. Good, good. Now let's take it back again. Let's see what happens. Let's take another backswing. Okay. Weight on the heels. Okay, good, good. Now you see your weight is on the inside of your right foot. Let's try it one more time.
Okay.
A little bit more angle. Good, good. Good, good. You see, your weight is here. You've rotated your hips rather than slid your hips. This is where 90% of the golfers fail. Now, let's take this one step further. Let's think about the proper hip rotation. What I was telling you before, you were sliding your hips in your backswing. What we want you to do is rotate your hips about the power tilt axis. You remember the power tilt axis is back here. What we're going to do is rotate our hips about this axis. Okay. The final step in the backswing is to rotate the upper body against the torque wall of our inside right leg and right foot. Let me show you. Your hips are rotated, resisted against the inside of your right foot and right leg. We're going to call this the torque wall. What you want to happen in your backswing is you want to torque the club head, torque your upper body of your right inside leg and right foot. What we call this is torquing the hammer. Let me demonstrate. As you can see, my upper body is torqued against the torque wall of my right leg and my right foot. This is torquing the hammer. The last phase of the backswing is a full body rotation. What this consists of is your left hand, your left arm, and the club face are parallel to the target. The final thought on the backswing, Jim, is I want it to be a continuous buildup of momentum, a continuous buildup of club head speed. We take the club back. I want you to take it back smooth, but I want you to continue to build speed. Why don't you give it a try? Great position, Jim. Look how your weight is on the inside of your right foot, braced against the inside of your right leg. Your shoulders are fully turned. Your left hand, your club face, your left arm's parallel to the target. Your head's locked over the ball. Your hips are fully rotated. Great position.
Boy, do I feel wound up, Jack. That feels twice as powerful.
You've torqued the hammer, Jim. In our backswing, freeze frame number 3 places simultaneous torquing of the upper body and club shaft. Let's go to swing tip 4.
All right.
Swing tip number 4, the downswing, triggering the hammer. There's 4 points to triggering the hammer. 1, proper energy release. 2, the V torque reaction. 3, head moves away from the ball. And 4, left arm mirrors chest. If we've done everything right in the golf swing to this point, it's time to have some fun. It's time to grip it and rip it. It's time to trigger the hammer. What happens in the downswing, Jim, is you plant your left heel as such, which rotates the left knee towards the target, which induces your hips to pivot towards the target. This uncoiling of the knees and the hips sets off a centrifugal force of your upper body and the club head. In slow motion, it looks like this. You plant your left heel, rotate your left knee towards the target. Your hips are moving towards the target. Good. The second point of the downswing is something I call the V torque reaction. The V torque reaction is where your left arm and your club shaft generates a V in your golf swing. We're able to do this because of the way that we cocked our right shoulder during the address position. Most golfers are casting like they're casting for fish during the downswing. What we'll do is we're going to delay the triggering of this V reaction into the ball for maximum distance. Point 3 of your downswing is where your head is moving away from the ball. If you remember, on our backswing, in our takeaway, our head was locked motionless over the ball. Well, in our downswing, the head moves away from the ball. What we want to do, as we approach the ball, our head and our upper body are moving away from the ball as our legs and our hips are driving into the ball. Remember, if your head is in a forward position at impact, it's a weak position. The final stage of our downswing is our left arm mirroring our chest. If we've done everything right, we've generated the V torque reaction. Our head should be moving away at impact, and our left arm mirrors the chest. It looks like this. And don't forget the grunt. Freeze frame number 4 portrays the triggering of the hammer by unleashing the V torque reaction into the ball. Swing tip number 5, the finish or the follow-through. Wrapping the hammer. There's 5 points to wrapping the hammer. 1, accelerate through the ball. 2, stomach faces target. 3, club head wraps around neck. 4, hands cup up. And 5, hold finish 3 to 4 seconds. Point 1 of wrapping the hammer is accelerating through the ball. Unfortunately, the laws of centrifugal force dictates the club head speed peaks before impact. What we have to do is minimize the centrifugal force in our swing by thinking acceleration of the club head well past the ball. Your centrifugal force peaks at about this point in your swing. I want you to accelerate to this point. Instead of acceleration at this point, I want you to accelerate at this point. I'll tell you, Jim, the majority of golfers totally neglect the finish of a golf swing.
Why? What do they do?
Well, as we were talking about wrapping the hammer, you have to finish strong. And there's some points that I'd like to point out in a strong finish.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and take a swing, and then I'll point some things out to you.
Okay.
Okay, hold that spot right there. I want you to take a look at your left foot, how the weight should be on the outside of your left foot.
Okay.
And on your right toe, your left hand should be cupped, and the club head and your hand should be wrapped around your back. And your final check, your stomach should be facing the target. Great, Jim. There's one final point I'd like to make on the finish.
Okay.
To wrapping the hammer. And let me demonstrate that, okay? I want you to hold this position for 3 to 4 seconds.
All right.
This position is a good check and balance to check your rhythm, tempo, and timing in your swing. It also is a good yardstick to measure your swing mechanics.
It looks very relaxed, too. I mean, you're very comfortable there.
Well, what you want to do is you want to be totally relaxed, because if you're totally relaxed, you've made a good pass at the golf ball. Our final freeze frame, number 5, will be wrapping the hammer with a strong mental finish. I think you're ready to go hit it long.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's go on the course.
Okay, let's do it. Before we leave, let's review the 5 freeze frames required to hit the long ball. Simulating impact at address. Lock the head and coil the hammer. Torquing the hammer. Triggering the hammer. Wrapping the hammer. Remember, these all add up to optimum repeatability. Think you're ready, Jim, to hit it long.
Boy, I really want to put this to work. You know, it works so well on the range. You always wonder if you can make it really go down the fairway.
I think you got the technique down.
Yeah.
Don't forget to put those feet at a 45-degree angle.
Okay. All right.
Head locked over the ball. Beauty. Beautiful drive. Beautiful.
Right in the center of the fairway, big
That was
guy.
beautiful.
Man, does that work? That is great. All right, and pound it. I'll bet you can reach the green from here.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, it just depends on how much I grunt.
Well, let's hear it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is that beautiful? I bet you went 365, 370. Beautiful, beautiful drive. Let's go get him.
Close. Jim, it looked to me like you really put the torque on that ball last time. This
Okay.
time what I want you to do, I want you to focus on pointing that left elbow towards the target and cocking that right shoulder,
Okay.
okay?
Boy, I never thought I'd play Indian Wells this well, I tell you. Man.
Point
All
that
right.
left elbow towards the target, cock your right shoulder. Beauty. You're becoming a natural. perfect.
All right, Jack.
It's perfect. How you like this hit along?
All right, Coach.
How you like this hit
I'm
along?
putting pressure on you, Coach.
How do you like this hit along technique?
I think it's great.
Huh?
I think it's great. Well, it's got to take 2-3 strokes off when you're going another 30, 40
The
yards.
only thing I haven't heard you do so far is you haven't grunted, though.
All right.
We got to get that in there. Boom!
Beautiful shot.
Baby.
You may be on the green.
Oh, baby. Oh,
You may be on. Looks like it. Looks like it.
oh, baby.
Let's go putt for birds, huh?
Oh, baby. I tell you, Jim, there's nothing better than getting off the tee long, is there?
You could say that again. Man, it really did a lot, for my confidence. Knowing I'm out in the middle of the fairway and I'm out, 260, 270 instead of, 220, 230 makes an entirely different game of this.
Well, then you can hit a 9-iron instead of a 6-iron for approach shot.
That's right.
On this swing, what I want you to focus on is your follow-through.
Okay. Hold that finish.
I want you to hold the finish for 3 seconds.
Okay.
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I don't know what else I can teach you.
Man.
Boy,
Wait till I get back home and they'll say, what'd you do at Indian Wells? I say, oh, I just played a little golf. I got a guy to teach me how.
I'm going to have to swing a little harder here because you're starting to catch up with me.
A little pressure.
I'm going to
huh?
have to generate a little more club head speed.
Okay.
How long is this hole anyway?
Oh, around 403, 404.
Okay.
You can do that, huh?
You want to think slow when you want to hit it long.
Nice shot. Nice shot. You're in the center, about 10 yards short of the green, which must make that about 380, 375.
That's what it looks like to me.
Okay.
Let's go.
Boy, this is really a lot of fun. You look forward to every tee box when you know you're going to airmail it down there further than you ever had.
Well, when you have this technique, you get more and more excited about the swing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you can't wait for the next tee box.
That's right. This is the best lesson I've ever had. I mean, I really feel like I've got power, and I'm not worrying about, oh, don't do this or don't do that. I'm just, teeing her up, and once I start swinging, I really go for it. What can I do to add a little more power? Is that grunt of yours?
Well, I'd like to see a grunt on this one. I'd like you to see it time it right at impact. I'd like to hear something.
Okay.
See what you can do.
I'll out-ham Jack Hamm.
Right.
Okay.
If you can out-grunt me, I'll be impressed.
All right. Ah!
It's a little late, Jim. It was a little late.
All right.
It was after impact.
Now
Let me
let's
show
see
you.
the timing, because I got
Let me
everything
show
else
you.
fine.
Let me show you how you do this, all right?
All right.
One thing I do right every time is my grunting. It's like singing. You gotta be on key.
It lets that ball know that it better get going. Ah! Boy, is that beautiful. Is that beautiful. It's got to be the grunt. I mean, I did everything else, and I bet you beat me by 115 yards.
You're probably right.
Ah! There you go. Nice draw.
Ooh, baby.
Nice draw.
Ooh, baby. Well, I'll tell you what, I like to refer to something I learned in math class. The straightest...
It's okay. It's okay.
As you can see, my head is frozen, motionless over the ball. This is an extremely important freeze frame.
Do it again, you stumbled.
Okay. As you can see, my head is frozen over the ball. I'm sorry. Let's try it one more time. It's a very important freeze frame. Your head is locked motionless to the ball.
That's all right. Do it again.
Okay.
Just relax.
Doing weather,
Just do it again. Swing.
Yeah.
as you can see, what we call this. He's hitting it pretty good.
They're going
This
straight,
guy,
too. I thought
this
maybe
guy
they'd go
can hit
over.
it. He's hitting it good. This guy's hitting it good. I taught him, but he's doing really good. You getting that? It's marvelous. Point 3 of the downswing. I didn't think I was on the camera. Great, Jim.
Thanks.
Good, Jim. There's one final.
I'm sorry. That was great. All right, let's go.
All right, all right.
Yeah, you got you got to...
Okay.
I have a first place.
That's okay. You sound like Brendan
think
Vaccaro. Hi, Jack.
And remember, you don't have to be a gorilla to hit the long ball. It's optimum repeatability.